So now what we can do is really something really cool. When a customer asks something, they actually want to know, when am I going to get the business value? Disney does a really good job of this, right? So they tell you, what time am I going to get that thrill? If I stand in this line, I know exactly what my queue times are, right? And I get that there. So now, if somebody comes up to me and they're an influential person and they're like, hey, Scrum Master, Iteration Manager, we really want to get this card done, okay? I can say, all right, well, you know what? Let's talk about how important it is. And I can actually go to my whipboard, go to my backlog boards, and talk about where's this fit in the priority, and let them know that if we, when do you need it by? I need it in 2 weeks. Okay, well, our cycle time says that we're averaging 2 weeks. That means we have to like start now, and we'd be skipping all these other steps. Are you okay with that? So we're going to skip a security meeting. We're going to skip an architecture meeting, and we're just going to do this. And by the way, can you tell everybody else that you're cutting the line in front of them? Because I don't care what I work on. Like my thrill is to apply technology to solve business value. And I work on the highest value thing for the company, but I also don't want to have the job of telling everybody they can't get what they want. We've had Agile, Kanban, Scrum teams with up to 14 different product owners on it. So one of them was a SAP implementation, okay, and they had 8 people that could do SAP configuration and coding, and they had 14 people that wanted to change the SAP system. So you literally had 14 people competing for what the work of 8 could do in a 40-hour week, and they realized that if they didn't show up for that last or someone, if they didn't show up and make a case for what was most valuable, again, we didn't care, then they weren't going to get their work done. So this really works. Once the product owners understand and they can see the work, this is what others, I'm not a tool fan, because what you have to make it physical. If you can't see those car doors, right, it's really easy for people to cut in line because nobody even knows it happens. It's just another piece of data in the system. Okay, so it forces that conversation about process, business value, priority, size, and all the things necessary for us to do delivery and development. Just to recap on cycle time, all right, so keep a chart. I tell you that large cards are bad. So it's good teams get good at story decomposition to make them really small. It's when you have a lot of variation and you have a lot of extra large cards, right? Naturally, it's harder to measure. So, and that's a craft in itself, writing story cards and decomposing them. Sometimes you can't because you have too much technical debt in your system and everything is just hard. Everything is big, which is a different issue. So now maybe you have technical debt cards, right? Going through your thing and saying, well, we need to break down our technical debt and so that we can actually go faster. I think that since we're using data and we can measure one anomaly at a time, I think cycle time is better than velocity in Scrum. Velocity is a trailing indicator, so at the end of the 2 weeks, what are we doing? And I think this is demonstrated capacity is what we're measuring here. What is our throughput? What is our flow rate? Okay, and how can we improve that flow?